I think I would have a meltdown pretty much every day, because there's a lot of loss that you're dealing with. Anybody with a camera in their hand feels like they have the right to record your life.
I think वो न्यूटन का एक डायलॉग है जो मुझे बहुत सही लगता है. वो एकदम आपने when you said this I remember that. Where he says कि अवार्ड मिला है मुझे, बोलता है क्यों अवार्ड मिला है एंड में. He says कि 9 बजे का टाइम है, मैं 9 बजे पे आ जाता हूँ तो लोगों को बहुत बड़ी बात लगती है.
I've been a certain way. I was like, let's go to a certain extreme and see how it feels. So I'm just in a phase. That phase can be over. I've just had a big bowl of halwa at lunch, and that's how I live my life.
ate
I'm
halwa?
like, just shut up. And what surprises me is that with the amount he irritates me.
Hi guys, welcome to the Quint and thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Firstly, the trailer is so powerful and I know that every time Anubhav Sinha's name is attached to a film, it makes you stop in your tracks and take notice and think about it, and Bheed does exactly that. The trailer takes you back to one of the most trying times that the world went through, right? When you were reliving this, when you were reliving this on the big screen, how difficult or challenging did you guys find at that time?
Our film is actually, of course, COVID is the backdrop of the film, but there's much more happening in the film. There's so many internal battles, struggles that the characters are dealing amongst themselves. So I think of course, it took us back to those memories, those really dark memories. But our film is, as I said, is you'll have to watch the film to know what I'm talking about. There's so many social things that we are trying to touch upon through our film. And it eventually talks about human spirit. It talks about hope.
Just adding onto what Raj said, is the film primarily shows you what the power of humanity in the grimmest of times. There are so many characters, everybody has their own personal journey in the film, obviously around this massive crisis that, we were going through globally. And they are from different socio-economic backgrounds, but they all are stuck and they all meet in this particular situation with different experiences, different schools of values that they belong to, and how this one incident immediately changes their life, and you see the true nature of mankind, good and bad.
So while we were all going through these trying times, there were so many instances that our faith was sort of restored in humanity, I think it brought out the best in a lot of people. So was there an incident while either you were researching for the film or during those times that kind of restored your faith in humanity?
So many.
Yeah.
I think the government, of course, was doing their job and as much as they could. I mean, it was not easy, in a country of 1.4 billion people, it's not easy to deal with something which is so unknown. So they were doing, but also the way all of us came together on through social media. I think everybody was trying to spread the message across for people who are in need of help. And I think that was so beautiful just to witness in those trying times, that how as a race we all came together, not without thinking about the religion, region, caste, color. We all just became humans. I think that's how it should be, because the world would be a much better place.
Many instances, like I think when you just saw our frontline workers without the kind of courage, they were equally at threat, right? But they were just doing their duty for us to keep us safe. Or when you saw somebody even financially aid another person, or help somebody. I think people were helping each other in the smallest and biggest of ways. And I saw such stories of miracle that happened then, like literally it reached a point where, you had breastfeeding mothers that were pumping out extra milk to give orphan babies. You've never seen people globally connect with each other to this level.
Bhumi, during that time, you, of course, did a lot of help, was rescued, and, there were a lot of resources that you put out there to kind of aid people. When you do such a thing, you kind of become one with people's grief as well, right? Because you feel so connected. How does that affect you as a person?
I think I would have a meltdown pretty much every day, because there's a lot of loss that you're dealing with, and you don't really at that point, and it's just not for me, I don't want to turn this into a solitary mission. For everybody in the biggest and the smallest way that were out there to help people. And I feel like you don't really get any time to have moments of grief or joy. So for me, that time is such a void. I've just kind of like blocked it, and I don't think I've dealt with it. But I feel like it was maybe the biggest learning of my life ever. Ever. I honestly don't remember most of it because I think I've consciously just erased it from my mind.
You know, I remember during that time sitting in my house just feeling so grateful for what I had while I was acknowledging my privilege, but also feeling so sad and helpless, saying that why do I have this? You know, you feel guilty about having the things that you do. So that was my biggest realization I think that I had. Did you have any sort of a realization in that time?
Yeah, what I realized was that everything is how so uncertain. You know, I decided that how we should just live this life, which is a blessing, I feel, the way we want to, and listen only to our heart and live it happily with people that we love.
And just basically count your blessings. We have, and we should have a heart to share it with others as well. You know, I feel like empathy is something that we were completely, there was a lot of like, there was narcissism to levels where all we cared about were I, me, myself. I feel like empathy is such an important tool for survival. You know, I feel like that was kind of instilled into many of us, me for sure.
Do you think that kind of really transformed you into being more empathetic as a person today?
Oh, 100%. I feel I always was because, you know, I mean, there's always been a bit of kindness that I've seen at home as well. But I definitely feel like it's humbled me to extreme, extreme levels.
You know, Raj, during that time, there was so much misinformation on social media, and a lot of celebrities like you and you took to the internet and were dispelling that misinformation and saying, don't believe everything. So, in a way, we all also realized that while we say social media, it has so many cons, right? But it also has so many pros at that time. So, do you think we should kind of put our energies more into using it to its advantage like we did during that time?
We should for sure,
Yeah.
but
Do we?
but do we? Yeah, that is the question. Because people believe everything that they read so easily. Because it's very easy to, if 10 people send you something, you start believing that, oh yeah, it's true. Just because 10 people have said it, it's true. Not necessarily that it's true.
You guys are always in the media glare, or when you guys are coming in and out of places, you're spotted. Do you think sometimes the lines are getting so blurred that it can border to the line of intrusiveness sometimes?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like anybody with a camera in their hand feels like they have the right to record your life. But I mean, what's right, what's wrong, I don't know because, you know, I mean, none of us are well versed with the law. I don't even know if we are protected in that sense. But I feel like just the sense of morality is so depleted, you know, in today's times that you just want to sensationalize everything. It could be the most private, vulnerable moment of somebody's life and it's recorded. Because of your phone, right from, you know, exploiting people, you know, to, in the gravest form, to like exploiting their privacy, everything is done through that camera in your hand.
It can become very intrusive, and especially now when we walk out and we're just being careful because you never know who's clicking your picture from where. So you need to be, I think, a little extra careful now, which was not the case earlier.
Do you wish you were not a celebrity sometimes when this happens?
I don't think so. I'm still a celebrity. I no, really, I don't know. I don't know. I know it's tough to believe, but I became an actor because I genuinely love my work. For me, whatever comes along with it is the byproduct, and I don't really crave for it or live for it. I think वो न्यूटन का एक डायलॉग है जो मुझे बहुत सही लगता है. वो एकदम आपने when you said this, I remember that. Where he says कि अवार्ड मिला है मुझे, बोलता है क्यों अवार्ड मिला है एंड में. He says कि 9 बजे का टाइम है, मैं 9 बजे पे आ जाता हूँ तो लोगों को बहुत बड़ी बात लगती है.
Yeah, you're saying like, I don't do anything extraordinary, I'm just being me. Yeah. Coming back to this film, such powerful performers in the film. You know, that scene between you and Pankaj Kapoor made me really pause and look at it. How was it being in the same frame as him?
Oh, it was thrilling. It was very, very exciting. A lot of learning that happened. One of my most favorite actors of all times. He is one of the most versatile actors of our country. I think it was just very memorable sharing the screen space with him. And, you know, it always helps you as an actor when you have somebody so amazing in front of you. It enhances your performance. It takes the scene to another level. And Pankaj sir has done that. I've grown up watching him perform. From my first memory might be Mandi or Shamili ki Shadi. Tum, mujhe bata. I used to mimic him, like for all his character, Makbul, Kaya Guru, Zaman Saaf Rahi. We all used to mimic him. And then to get a chance to perform with him, alongside him, was a blessing, I think. I would always cherish this moment.
This is your second film together, right? So what's the one thing that kind of surprised you both about each other now?
Bhumi's abs really surprised me. It's like, ye kahan se aaye?
But I don't know why. I'm literally like a little shy now. Shit.
To
But I
Instagram pe
work-
aajkal the kind of pictures she's posting with those abs.
So I was on a journey for the last like 7 months. Where I was like, okay, you know, I've been a certain way. I was like, let's go to a certain extreme and see how it feels. So I'm just in a phase. That phase can
Yeah,
be
yeah.
over. I've just had a big bowl of halwa at
That's
lunch.
okay.
And that's how I live my
You
life.
ate
I'm
halwa?
like, just shut up. You were there. I got swine flu. That's when I lost some insane amount of weight. You know, this was not intentional. I wasn't trying to do it because honestly, I only do things for a film. If I'm asked to, I'll do it. Otherwise, I'm just whatever. My normal self. It can be thin. It can be like whatever.
Do you
And I
think there
wasn't.
was one more thing you were doing, na, because of which you lost weight?
Working out.
No, no.
Raj, we have to know. You know the answer. We want
I
to
forgot
know.
you were saying something.
Please ignore him.
No, we want to know.
One
We're
more.
not ignoring him.
I'll tell you.
Please tell us.
Oh, I forgot really. No, I'm really trying to recollect. Kya bola
I
tha.
do like.
answer.
No,
Meditation. You were saying meditation. You're
No, so
starting
I'll just
meditation
tell
during
you,
lockdown.
I manifest stuff a lot, right?
Ah,
So I was
manifest stuff,
manifesting. Can you stop it? That, you know, okay, I'm going to get. So it's a part. I feel it's a holistic thing, right? To have like a healthy body and a healthy mind.
Okay, so he's surprised by your abs. What are you surprised
People are
about?
going to think, there's so much I want to say right now. I'm just surprised about. So Raj and I are very good friends. Okay, he's my sister, I'm his brother. There's a brother. Like we're friends. Okay, over and above everything.
Sakhi, as she said.
Sakhi. Yeah.
Sakha, Sakhi.
And what surprises me is that with the amount he irritates me, my love for him only keeps increasing. And my love for his work only
ये नहीं
keeps
बोलना चाहिए था
increasing.
Bhumi.
I've said a very nice thing.
She gives me blessings like every 5 minutes. You would just.
Just one last question, coming back to the film. What's the one thing in this crowd that is going to make Bheed stand out?
I think it's story. It's characters. It's great writing, and it's black and white, which is so unique and special. It looks beautiful on screen.
A film that will also make you appreciate all the work that, you know, different sectors of people put into, you know, that people in power put into to kind of make this situation that was so out of control, however good it could be.
So thank you so much for making films like that. We really
you.
need them. And good luck. Thank you for talking
you
to
so
me.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.